Hi, good morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning here on the 26th. I've known for a while that several DoD installations need to be renamed and will be renamed, regardless of anyone's opinion. They will be renamed because of their association with the Confederacy. So, and then I hadn't realized that Fort Belvoir was on the list. Belvoir, translated means nice views. So I thought that was rather generic, but on the radio today, it did state that Belvoir needs to be renamed because it was the name of a plantation that had slaves. So I was thinking, okay, why don't we, and then they are soliciting names, right, for, how to rename it. So I was wondering, um, well, yesterday in the blog Rally Point, which is like a military thing, I had posited that uh, African American or black service personnel that received like high awards would be fitting names for military installations. For example, in Pearl Harbor, maybe you've seen the movie. I think it was the boxer on one of the battleships took over a machine gun, and he was awarded the Navy Cross, which was rather high up, right? So I was thinking, well, whatever his name was, that might be fitting for a military installation. But then this morning I realized, wait a minute, why don't we throw in a Native American, or even that title has challenges to it. So what about one of the First Nation peoples? Their names. Okay, I went off track. Anyway, so back to the slave things, right? So I pulled up the names of George Washington's slaves and in his household. So, like one name is Ona, O-N-A. Well, that's an odd name for a fort. But another one is Hercules, Fort Hercules. And yeah, some people might associate with mythology, but they might also realize, hey, that was one of George Washington's slaves. Camp Mole, M-O-L-L. Camp Giles, Giles. Fort Austin. Well, that's associated with Texas. Fort Richmond. Well, that might be misleading. People might think it's near Richmond, like Fort Lee is, which will also be renamed. Maybe that's a good name for Fort Lee, is Fort Richmond. Fort Paris, again, no, not appropriate. Fort Joe, and then Fort Richardson, no, there's already a Fort Richardson. Fort Shields, Christopher Shields, S-H-E-E-L-S, Fort Shields. That might work. And again, there's Fort William Lee. Well, that's a non-starter. So in terms of the slaves in George Washington's household, I think we're left with maybe Fort Hercules, Fort Giles, Fort Mole. That sounds, maybe that might not be good. A little animal that digs holes, Fort Ona. Well, that's a weird one, but it might stick. Maybe it might stick, Fort Ona. Okay? But anyway, just a thought that maybe our nearby fort, because it's named after a plantation with slaves, maybe a slave's name should be the new name of the fort. Just a thought.